inshaAllah. We have some questions from our family online, mashaAllah, doing lots of himmah, lots of videos, lots of animes, lots of images and reels. But this was a good one that inshaAllah Abu Omar will make a nice one with a candle over the box and the box showing lights from many different directions, because people don't think in the world of light and how light it can diffuse in many directions. And we said before that it's just entering into this room, your soul has already been dressed by the soul of the shaykh. Our light doesn't stay like a particle, like a beam. The soul and the vastness of the soul is something can't be imagined. Think of it like the soul of every person is beyond from the earth to the moon. The size of the soul is not something comprehensible. As soon as people move into a vicinity, all their lights are diffusing. We are all connected. We are the internet, not this stuff that people made on computers. We are the interconnected reality. What was the internet teaching you? I could Google something and pull it off of your computer, bring it back, and it's a knowledge, right? Because all of the systems are interlinked. But what was God's internet? It was the souls. Literally the shaykh when they talk, they can enter the soul of every person watching, listening, retrieve their questions, give back an answer into their heart. What's the internet? Why couldn't Google do it? Allah can't do it? Used to be a Yahoo but it went out of business because Allah says, don't use Yahoo. Remember when it first came out we said, Yahoo, but that's a big name. Allah said, take that off. Shaitan was trying too hard to copy the heavens. But what was the concept of that? Why everybody can take off of a computer node as easily, the soul is more powerful. We all came together in this vicinity and all those who are watching, all the souls are like on a network of energy. Your thought, desire, everything is flowing on this network. And the shaykh represents very powerful programmers behind him whom are pulling the information and the knowledges of what the network wants. Where else did science find this network? When you go on the mountain. They said as soon as you step on a mountain, every tree notifies every other tree through its roots that this servant has come. The tree knows if you're a good servant or a bad servant, that oh, an oppressor has entered into our jungle and our environment. And through the rooting system, every flower, every plant all enter.
As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. InshaAllah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans, Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Connected. And if it's a servant of God, it notifies all the trees that a servant of God has entered upon this, that God has blessed us. Everything is connected. That's because people who are particles, if they talk, they separate people. But the people of a wave reality, they teach us, no, we're all from one ocean. We just came here in separate cars. Get out of your car and meet us in here. InshaAllah. That's a good one. Bismillah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, according to the teachings of sound and frequency, do silent zikr and recitation have the same effects as the loud zikr?
When we do for ourselves and we meditate for ourselves, there's this tremendous power in breathing and doing your zikr within your heart khafi. But that's training. So that you do a little bit loud, you say Allah, 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 or Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa sallim, Muhammad wa sallim. You do through the tongue first, and we've described many times in the meditation book. You become more experienced when you chant through your tongue onto how you're going to chant within your heart. Then you begin to feel tremendous power. For the zikr of our majlis and our associations, we have many new people daily coming in. If I do silent, many are lost. They're lost, or what surah are they on, what are they reciting, and you disconnect. And the hikmah of keeping it to be audible is that we want everybody to feel that they can connect, they can start chanting along, they can feel the energy and hear the vibration of what's being recited. And we described that again in the power of sound. When somebody recites in Urdu, in Chinese, in Arabic and English, doesn't matter what they're saying. Because you look at a couple and say, okay, this is all about love, so I'm in the right place, no problem. But what I'm trying to feel is the vibration of their love. When they're sincere, when this young boy who has difficulty in life and he shows up here and he recites, his recitation's 1,000 times more powerful than any man who complained about coming here. That's what the power of recitation is. When they recite, you feel their love, and love is very contagious. It means the energy flows through the hearts, and as a result they feel energized, they've got a good sustenance upon their soul until the next day or next week. So hearing recitations has its own power and reality, and hearing from pious people, sincere people, has immense power, immense realities. And then the angels join in, all the mu'min beings join in, and many awliyaullah visit the association. They have to, because Allah will ask them, oh, you were in the area and you didn't join the majlis of zikr? Because not 500 majlises happening here. Maybe in old times there used to be maybe 500 majlises. So the awliya would visit short in each one, or they could send themselves to all of them. But now there's no associations, nothing of a majlis of zikr happening. So then many awliya come to be present, to send the faiz and the blessings and the love of Prophet. So these are not empty places, and even the people whom are at home doing the zikr, playing the zikr, the awliya must visit upon them. The angels come, the mu'min beings come. Why? Because again for Prophet they want the barakah and blessings to be everywhere, and they come to take away negativity and bring the Divine grace so that people benefit from their love of the Divine, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, is it possible for nefarious forces to manipulate our wave reality and completely destroy it?
Yes, that's why when we're teaching, we teach with all these rules. Say that, okay, you have to come disciplined, you have to have good character, you have to wash, you have to be clean, you have to all these things. Why? Because we have the teachings of the jinn. The jinn and spiritual beings, they're only wave. God didn't create them as a particle, they're created as an energy. As a result they exist as a wave energy. As a result people don't see them. So if the spiritual practice are not based on disciplines and cleanliness and having an authorized guide of a wave reality, what happens? Many sort of new age people think if they just close their eyes and open their heart, what comes? These nefarious beings. That's why they don't teach about those beings in these countries. They don't want to be taught, they don't want people to know about jinns. They only say, oh this is a demon and this is a fallen angel. No, an angel is an angel, but the jinn are the jinn, and they're 10 times our population. And if you open yourself up, the jinn comes and begin to make the person feel they're seeing things, feeling things, because he's giving his wave reality to that person. And they feel that they've achieved things, they can talk about things, they can see things, but no, that's not the system. And that's why they say, okay, you have to have the ta'weez, you have to have the love of Prophet because the jinn are not going to do that. You have to have a guide that sees, and then when you make your madad and you make your connection, the guide is there to be spiritually present with you. So these nefarious beings, they operate as a wave. And that's how we described how do they become powerful, how are these elites so powerful? Because they don't play by the rules. For the shaykhs to bring an elite, how difficult is that? To get them out of their palace, bring them down and come and say, now come sit here and learn realities? No. But how shaitan does that? How did the nefarious jinn do that? They just enter the guy's house. Nobody can see him, he enters into that person, they're probably not clean, they don't wear protection, and immediately overtakes the person. All his desires, takes over his company, takes over his checks, takes over his entire life. And then they're sitting in the head of all these corporations. And then people say, oh I see their eyes, something's in their eyes. Yeah, because the nefarious being has entered into them. And the eyes of the jinn are like a cat, not like our eyes. So yeah, they don't play by the rules, and very easy for them to possess people and then oppress people.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, how does the guidance of wave reality enter the hearts of people while physical guidance only reaches the mind?
That's anyone who's been to school and a professor talked and you fell asleep. That's why very difficult to listen to certain people, because they're talking from their head and a signal from their head, because what they understood and what they believe is not in their heart. Is the ceiling falling? Why? Because they talk through their head, and as a result the head vibration that comes out to people, it shuts down most people's heads. But the people of the heart and the wave, their talk is from their soul to the souls of people, and they don't care if your head didn't understand, they actually prefer if your head doesn't understand. So I don't understand what that guy said. It's not a problem, because the soul transferred the knowledge it had to transfer to the soul. And when that person begins to meditate and contemplate, the knowledge has been deposited and the connection has been made. Because they're not operating from people's heads, because the nafs, the ego of people is connected to the head, the soul is connected to the heart. So they operate from the heart, that's why the heart is much harder to operate. You have to be clean, you have to have taken all your practices, there's an immense amount of discipline to enter the heart. And for somebody to have a heart that been disciplined and then speak from the heart and speak from their soul, then that's a different achievement, which even Islamic studies they don't have that. So the external teachers, they don't talk from their heart, they talk from their aqal and their brain. And even when they speak, it's not deposited within the soul and the hearts of people. It's just entertaining, oh wow, what did he say? 5 minutes later you don't remember anything. So, and many people fall asleep as soon as you turn them on. So this is a different reality, and particles like particles. But people whom are inspired towards a wave reality, they can't even sit with a particle. Because whatever this person is talking is just, it's not for me. So the wave to wave has an attraction, where Allah has written for a person to be subtle, to take a path of realities, means in their inner reality Allah already established they're going to be a wave. That's why they have a yearning towards those spiritual paths. Because many people come and say, why you have to talk like this, why you have to do like this? I said, because I don't know how to be a particle teaching, I don't know what to do with that. That's not what Allah has opened. So we talk from this way that has opened for us, and it attracts the people whom Allah wants from that reality. You know your destiny has already been written, you just don't know it, right? It's not maybe not, oh well, Allah then wrote for you to be there. I mean something is already destined and written for that servant. How long is it going to take for them to achieve it? Then that's between them and their nafs. But now the world is in such a condition, there's not much time left for their nafs, because the difficulties of the world begin to impose upon people. InshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum, Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, can these practices of salawat and zikr lessen the destructive impact of sound weapons used against humanity?
Because of the age that we're in, right? The last of the holy books were based on what? The book of Sayyidina Isa, Jesus Christ, peace and blessings be upon him, was what? The Injeel. Recall the Injeel means the spoken word, not what's written now. But what was the Injeel of Sayyidina Isa, the spoken word, and the Qur'an was a recited book. That's why everyone's memorized it. There's 900 million memorizers who safeguard it, and they are the blockchain of the heavens. That Allah has safeguarded the Qur'an by the 900 million people who have every letter memorized. Why? Because it comes through a sound, they recite it through a melodious tune. Because at the last days everything is based on sound again. All of their weaponry will be based on sound. All of the activities will be based on energy. They have a microwave energy, they have sound energy weapons, they have all of these devices that they are preparing for humanity. But God has already written the program that He has also a surprise for them, that these reciters and these people whom train through sound, they have very powerful sounds that one can shield against what they're trying to do, and at the same time that their one sound can bring down entire buildings. Where Allah described in Surat Yasin, it was but one shout and we brought everything down. So the trumpet of Jericho was an example in old times. When Allah said, go around, because against the fortress, so I think it was the Prophet of Jericho was blowing the horn, and it went 7 times and the entire walls of the kingdom had fallen. Why? Because Izzatullah. So of course the people whom believe in their heart connected to the heavens, the vibration of their souls will be opened by Allah, and what happens? Their energy is very powerful. Powerful, one, for a shield against every type of negativity. Of course negativity is continuously trying to come against them. And 2, for their energy to go out and become a powerful energy. And but their energy when it goes out, it goes to the benefit of the soul and burns the devils. So every association, the shaykh's soul and energies are coming out and burning the devils and filling and depositing upon the soul lights. That's why the devils don't sit into the zikr, they run, wait outside for their customers to come back. So you get in the car, you get in the car, so, then become the arguing, why you talk like that, I was like that, the food was so late. But he doesn't dare complain here because he can't, he stays outside because he's going to get burned. InshaAllah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen bi hurmati Muhammad al-Mustafa bi sirri Surat al-Fatiha. Shahad ya Rasul Kareem.
Sayyidi, many people were asking for bayat tonight.
InshaAllah. Oh, we have a break, InshaAllah. InshaAllah our intention to make bayat to Sayyidina Muhammad holy companions, holy Ahlul Bayt, Sahaba wa Sayyid Muhammad al-Mahdi holy companions, inshaAllah. To Sultan Awliya Shaykh Abdullah Faiz Daghestani, Sultan Shaykh Muhammad Nazim Haqqani, Mawlana Shaykh Hisham Kabani, Shaykh Adnan Kabani, Shaykh Muhammad Adil, Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq, Sayyidina Umar, Sayyidina Uthman, Imam al-Hasan, Imam Hussain, Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq, Sayyidina Umar, Uthman Ali, Imam al-Hasan, Imam Hussain. InshaAllah. Fa'auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Innal ladhina yubayyunaka yubayyuna Allah, yadallahi fawqa aydihim. فمن نقض فإنما يغوث على النفس ومن أوفى بما أهد عليه الله فسيؤتى أجرا عظيم. رضي بالله ربا وإسلام دينا وبسيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا ورسول وبقرآن كتابا واللهم نقول وكيل والحمد لله رب العالمين. وقبلنا بسيدنا سلطان الأولياء الشيخ محمد نازم حقاني شيخنا ومرشدنا مولانا الشيخ محمد عادل شيخنا ومرشدنا ومولانا الشيخ هشام كباني الشيخ عدنان كباني واللهم نقول وكيل. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله. الله 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 حق الله 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 حق الله 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 حق يا ربي يا الله إلى شرف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وآله وصحبه الكرام وعلى مشايخنا في طريقة النشبندية العالية خاصة شان نشبند محمد ويسي البخاري سلطان أولياء الشيخ عبد الفايز الداغستاني سلطان الشيخ محمد نازم عادل الحقاني مولانا الشيخ هشام كباني الشيخ عدنان كباني الشيخ محمد عادل مع عبد الخالق الخجدواني صاحب زمان سيدنا محمد المهدي عليه السلام روح الله سيدنا عيسى عليه السلام سيف الله سيدنا علي السلام ثم سيدنا أبو بكر الصديق سيدنا عمر سيدنا عثمان إمام الحسن عليه السلام إمام الحسين عليه السلام سيداتنا فاطمة عليه السلام صاحب الوقت سيد محمد المهدي عليه السلام شامة الفرداني عبد الرؤوف اليمني يوسف الصديق إمام العارفين لسان المتقالمين عرف تيار معروف بالمرهان برهان كرم قوس الأنم صاحب الوقت سيد محمد المهدي عليه السلام سائر وساداتنا والصديقين. الفاتحة.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. Inshallah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans, Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream. Every bit counts. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.